At the beginning of this conversation, Abraham explains how, typically, someone would have to compromise when you have two people with different opinions on an outcome. But when you realize that each of you wants to feel good, you realize that you can feel good, and you imagine a world of people wanting different things in alignment with their source, and each of them feels empowered and fueled with the resources of source. They encourage focusing on the non-physical, on how to align with who you are, because that's where all your authentic resources and power come from. Abraham explains how focusing on a condition may make manifesting with others harder. She goes on to differentiate between the conditional and non-conditional and advices that you have to be happy in your life. You have to be happy in the world. You have to expect good things to come. You have to be looking for good things. You have to practice that vibration. Let that be your vibration when manifesting and co-creating with others. Because of the format of this channel, we are not monetized. Therefore, we need the support of our subscribers more than ever. You can join the free ebook email campaign at In the Vortex website, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned through the very end for more ways to keep this channel going with new Abraham Hicks content every week. We are so grateful for your comments and support. Your engagement encourages the Abraham All-Day team to keep going. So, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Enjoy.
So I have a question about co-creating. I know that I am in charge of my own vibration. I'm also married, and my spouse has his own journey, and I try not to meddle in his business too much. But how do I maintain myself on a high-flying disc or maintain my vibration if we're trying to raise a child together and we have different perspectives on it, or if we want to make an investment in something and I want to and he doesn't, or he wants to and I don't? I understand from a marital point of view, but could you explain to me vibrationally what happens and what to do?
Well, the conversation that we had in the earlier part of this day is really a good basis for the answer to the question that you've just asked, because when you're not trying to focus so much on the conditional outcome, but instead you're focused upon the alignment, you must realize that you can find alignment apart from conditions. In other words, that's what must come first. Let's say that you are two people working closely together and you have two differing opinions on some outcome, something that you want to purchase or someplace you want to be. So of course, in the normal framework of looking at it, it seems like someone would have to compromise, maybe both. Someone would have to give in, someone would have to give up what they want in order to allow the other one to have what they want. But when you get to the heart of why each of you wants what you want, and you realize that each of you wants to feel good, and you realize that you can feel good apart from conditions, can you see how an unconditional alignment really is the precursor to happy relationships with so many others? Think of the world at large, not just one person that you're trying to cohabitate with or cooperate with, but think about a world of people wanting different things. And imagine that each of them have discovered how to find alignment with their source. So each of them feels empowered. Each of them is refueling with the resources of source. No one is feeling lack. No one is feeling that they can't have something because somebody else can have it. Everybody is knowing their mastery and their alignment. And now law of attraction is just helping you to rendezvous with one another for these poignant moments of co-creation. Well, that's really what even the most central and important of relationships like marriages are. You never intended to come together and align your intentions so precisely that you would never have any difference of opinion about anything. That was never the plan. But what you really intended from your non-physical perspective was to certainly figure out how to be in alignment with who you are, because that's where all of your true resources come from. Understanding that then you would rendezvous with different people at different times for different progressive realizations of different things. What goes wrong in relationships, in most relationships, is that each of you looks to the other for the fulfillment of what you want, instead of accepting that your alignment to source energy is the path to the fulfillment of what you want. So when you said, very wise and very helpful to you and to your mate, I try to stay out of his business, that really is what is required, is not needing his choices to be one way or another in order for you to be happy. Because if that is the case, and it almost always is, then you get into places of resentment where you're sacrificing things and giving up things to no good end, really.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was a very vibrational, conceptual explanation. How does it play out in real life? How does it play out in real life? Give us an example of something.
Let's say I want to make an investment and he is a little more fearful of it.
So I want to make an investment, that's the manifested part of it, an investment that does what?
That generates future income, passive income perhaps?
That generates income for what reason?
Retirement, college fund, life expenses,
For what reason?
security.
Security. Now that's the first thing that you said that is purely unconditional. And stay with us for just a moment, because an investment is a condition. The money is really a condition, but the security, less of a condition and more of an emotion. And so let's call the security the unconditioned, just for fun. And let's try to make this investment unconditional for a while. Let's pretend that you can't afford to make the investment, which isn't the case, but let's just pretend that. Or let's pretend that you're at odds about it and so you can't make the investment. Let's pretend that the manifestation of the investment, the actual condition of it, is off the table right now.
Okay.
Just because you're not in agreement, if for no other reason. But let's talk about the uncondition of it. So talk to us about the uncondition of security. Let's make that active right now. Apart from the condition of the investment, let's make the uncondition of security active right now.
I feel that source is always looking out for me.
So I'm already secure.
Yeah.
I'm an extension of source energy, and the planet spins in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, and the well-being of the planet is underway, and no new seeds are being trucked in from other planets, and I'm thriving in this way and in this way and in this way and in this way. In other words, it's easy for you to acknowledge security. Do you have a place to go home to?
Absolutely.
And is it a comfortable environment?
Right.
And do you have the means to move about in your time-space reality? Security is something that is already a state of being that you're experiencing, isn't it?
Yes, it
and
is.
so since security already exists, the security will lead to things that further enhance it. But you don't need the condition to enhance the security, because you just enhanced the security. You got there. That's what unconditional alignment is. That's what unconditional love is. That's what unconditional beingness is. It's shoring up the vibration apart from some condition that right now you can't control. And once you shore up the unconditioned, then the condition must morph into that reality. You got that, didn't you? Every time, no exceptions. Every time, no exceptions. And it doesn't matter if this condition that is wanted is a vehicle. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship. It doesn't matter if it's a bodily condition. It doesn't matter if it's a financial condition. It doesn't matter if it's a world concept. It doesn't matter what it is. The condition must come about if you can accomplish the unconditioned.
Okay.
And the unconditioned is the way you feel about it unconditionally.
Thank you.
People say, if I could have that, then I would be happy. And we would say, well, get happy and then you can have that. And they say, well, I would be happy once I get that. So give that to me and then I'll be happy. And we say, we understand that you'll be happy once you get that. But can you be happy anyway? That's really the unconditional question. Do you have the ability to hook in to the energy that creates worlds without the condition already having happened as your motivation to do so? That's really the question that this seminar wants to ask of you, and for you to find the answer to. Because once you figure that out, then you're free. Once you realize that you are an extension of source, and that the abundance of energy, you have this, let's find the perfect word. You have vibrational currency. You have access to immediate vibrational currency. You can't change that condition. You can't even find the investment and make it happen in this red hot minute, even in this day. But you can find the feeling of security. You can do that instantaneously. And so if moment after moment you reach for it until you've practiced it, until that's the vibrational frequency that you're emitting, then do you realize that you'll be standing in this place of readiness to receive, to be in the right place at the right time, to receive the right impulse, to turn on the television at the right moment, or notice the right piece of documentation, a magazine or an article or a newspaper or a book, or to be standing next to someone in an elevator. The opportunities are endless, and the source within you knows what the path of least resistance is for you. Now we want to explain what that means. So source, your inner being, call this consciousness whatever you want to call it Abraham if you want to, knows what you want and knows where you stand in relationship to it. We cannot express that often enough. We want you to feel that completely. Source also knows what your likelihood of hearing it is. So source is giving you what you're most likely to receive right here and now. For example, some years ago, Jerry and Esther found a beautiful pen. It was a fountain pen. It was gold, it was expensive, it was beautiful, and Esther loved it. And she used it to write thank you notes and special things. And when they moved from one state to another, Esther lost track of it. And so now she's looking for it. They're unpacking, and she's looking for it everywhere. Unpacked every box, unpacked every purse, unpacked everything, and could not find it. She was not happy that she couldn't find it. She wanted to find it, but she could not find it. And we said to her, you cannot find something that's lost, because in your belief that it is lost, your inspiration is to look where it isn't. And so Esther kept looking for it where it wasn't, because it was lost. And she was embarrassed that she'd lost it because it was valuable. She was mad at herself that she'd lost it because it was valuable and she wanted it. But she was nowhere near the vibrational vicinity of joy and happiness and being nice to herself. She needed that condition in order to make herself feel happy. And she looked for it, just thinking that if I could just find it, I would be happy. And finally, Jerry said, honey, just let it go. Let it go. It's a pen. It is not worth the hours that you're spending looking for it. All right, as soon as I've dumped out every purse in the world, as soon as I've felt in the lining of every coat. So then a few days went by, and then a few weeks went by, and Esther forgot about it. And one day she is thinking, I wonder where that little perfume sprayer is that I like so much. And then she thought, I think last time I used it, it was there in that handbag. And she reached in that handbag and came out with her pen. The pen that she had looked in that handbag for dozens of times. She swore it wasn't there. She accused Jerry of planting it. And again we said, you cannot find what is lost. So the reason that we tell you this story is because we want you to realize that your inner being knows where you're at vibrationally and knows that you're blocked on finding the pen, but you're not blocked on finding the perfume. You see what we're getting at? So your inner being is giving you the impulses that are your path of least resistance. It's like your inner being, your friend is saying, well, we know what you want, and we know what you really want, and we know exactly where it is, but we also know you're blocking where it really is with this belief and this belief and this belief. You're blocking where it really is by believing that you have to have complete compatibility with someone else, or you're blocking where it really is because. But your inner being never stops leading you on your path, not the path of least resistance, your specific, precise path. Nice to have a friend upstream, isn't it? Yeah. A friend who knows exactly where you are and exactly what you want and what you're likely to hear. So if you let your work be not to work out the details, not to prove your worthiness in this way and this way and this way and this way and this way, not to be looking so hard for results, but to seek joy, to want to be happy, to look for appreciation, if you will take care of your unconditional business, you will then be in the vibrational proximity where you will be the realizer of so much more precision relative to your path. You see what we're getting at? Precision relative to your path. When you get tuned in, tapped in, turned on like that, impulses come to you, you get ideas, you get precise ideas. You get so clear you know who to call. A name will occur to you that you've never even heard before. We're not kidding you about this. Such precision about what you want available to you. but what are the components that are necessary? You got to like you. You got to like others. You got to be happy in your life. You got to be happy in the world. You got to expect good things to come. You got to be looking for good things. You got to practice that vibration. That has to be what you're projecting. We said to you the other day, and you really liked the way it rang into the room. Your point of attraction, your receptive mode, is really controlled by your broadcast mode. So what you're thinking about is what's causing you to be in the receptive mode or not. So do you want to be in a general receptive mode? Yeah, that's nicer than not being in a receptive mode. Would you rather be in a general receptive mode or a specific receptive mode? A specific receptive mode is so fun to get an idea and know exactly what to do, where to go, where to be. That's the fun that you have sometimes and that you can be having all the time. That's the clarity that you're looking for. The path of most clarity, the path of most alignment, the path of most intuitiveness, the path of most sensitivity, the path of most knowing, the path of most ease, the path of most fun. This is the way it is supposed to be for you. And you are the only ones who introduce the struggle into the equation. So if we were beginning this conversation again, you might say it differently. You might say, I have the most outstanding relationship with a very brilliant man who is looking toward our future for the security that we both feel and are looking forward to expanding. Very different conversation than, how can I wrestle him to the ground and make him realize that my idea is better than his?
I stay out of his business.
Thank you for joining us today on this positive self-discovery journey. To enhance your path to positivity and relaxation, visit our online store, In the Vortex. It's a treasure trove of carefully selected items to soothe anxiety and evoke joy. From Abraham Hicks's all-day inspiring designs to soul-soothing products, In the Vortex supports your journey towards a happier, more fulfilling life. But that's not all. For those of you who love to read and explore even deeper, don't forget to check out our Abraham All Day blog on the In the Vortex website. It's a hub of Abraham-inspired wisdom and inspiration waiting for you. And here's something truly exciting: our special campaign. When you scroll to the bottom of the In the Vortex website, you'll discover an irresistible offer, a special free gift that will make your heart sing. Trust me, it's something you won't want to miss out on. Take a moment to explore our SIPWARE line, now available for a limited time only, to remind you that everything is always working out for you. Grab yours today and perhaps a little something extra for a special person. Remember, when you surround yourself with positivity, you invite more of it into your life. So why wait? Dive into In the Vortex today and create your own oasis of joy and calm. Thank you again for being a part of this incredible community. Keep your thoughts high, your hearts open, and your spirits soaring. Until next time, take care, and remember, share this video with your friends, like, and subscribe.